"Please, sweetheart, just one more bite from Mama." The whispered plea echoed through Sterling's mind. He stood frozen near the break room. That voice, it belonged to his new cashier. But she wasn't talking to another employee. Through the slightly open door, he glimpsed something. A tiny girl in a yellow dress, a half-eaten sandwich being carefully portioned out. His chest tightened with an emotion he couldn't name. This wasn't what he'd expected to find. Sterling Whitmore had built his career on numbers. As CFO of Franklin's retail chain, precision mattered. Trust mattered more. 6 months ago, his longtime cashier betrayed that trust. Embezzlement, fraud, years of false smiles and stolen money. The investigation had taken weeks. The disappointment had lasted much longer. Sterling terminated him without hesitation. Now he needed someone new, someone untainted by corporate games and shortcuts. He interviewed dozens of overqualified candidates. Each one felt too polished, too rehearsed. Then Meadow Hartley walked through his door. Single mother, limited experience, desperate eyes that held stubborn hope. Something in her quiet honesty made him decide. He hired her on the spot. Meadow worked with careful dedication every single day. She balanced ledgers perfectly. She never missed a transaction. But every lunch break, she would vanish. Not slowly, she would practically run out the door. Sterling noticed. His old wounds made him suspicious. Was history repeating itself with different tricks? He had to know the truth now. One Tuesday afternoon, he watched from above. Meadow burst through the employee entrance again. Her movements looked panicked, almost frantic at times. Sterling's jaw clenched. He wouldn't be fooled twice. When she returned exactly on time, he called, "Meadow, my office now, please." She entered with trembling hands, clearly frightened inside. Sterling kept his voice firm, but measured carefully. "Where do you go every lunch break?" Her eyes dropped to the worn carpet. It's personal, sir. I apologize." "I need honesty from my employees, Meadow." His tone softened, despite his suspicion lingering. "What are you hiding from me exactly?" Tears began forming in her brown eyes. "I have a daughter. Her name is Clover. She's only 4 years old right now." Her voice cracked with raw vulnerability showing. "I can't afford proper daycare on my salary. I bring her to the storage room. I feed her my lunch every day." She looked up, terrified. "I was afraid you wouldn't hire me. Single mothers, we're seen as unreliable risks." Sterling felt his chest constrict with emotion. He'd expected theft or deception or betrayal. Instead, he'd found a mother's desperate love. He leaned back in his leather chair. His own childhood memories surfaced. His mother working. The sacrifices she'd made for him alone. "Meadow," he said gently, surprising even himself. "We all become parents at some point. Being a single mother isn't your shame. It's life testing your strength and heart." He paused. "You should have told me from the start. I could have helped you then, somehow." Meadow's tears fell freely down her cheeks. You're not firing me, sir." "Firing you?" Sterling actually smiled at the thought. "No, I'm going to do something different instead." 2 weeks later, Franklin's had changed in ways. A bright childcare room now occupied space. Professional caregiver named Juniper supervised the new area. Colorful toys filled the clean, safe environment. Working parents could visit during their breaks. Meadow brought Clover every morning without fear. The tiny girl in the yellow dress, the one Sterling had glimpsed through doors, now played happily with building blocks. Other employees' children joined her there too. The policy transformed more than just schedules. It transformed hearts and hope and trust. Sterling watched from his office window often. Meadow would visit Clover during lunch now, but this time she ate her sandwich. This time her daughter had proper meals. This time both mother and child smiled genuinely. Other staff members approached Sterling with gratitude afterward. Single fathers, young mothers, even grandparents raising grandchildren. The child care program solved problems he'd never considered. His search for an honest cashier became a gift to his entire company culture. One Friday evening, Meadow knocked on Sterling's door. "Sir, may I speak with you briefly?" "Of course. Come in, Meadow. Sit down." She sat on the edge of her chair. "I wanted to thank you properly, sir. You didn't just save my job that day. You saved my ability to be a mother. You gave Clover security and safety and hope." Sterling shook his head gently, moved deeply. "You saved yourself, your honesty, your dedication. That's what mattered most. I just removed the obstacles in your path." "But you could have fired me instead. My last employer did exactly that." "Then they were fools who couldn't see. Real leadership isn't about catching people doing wrong. It's about helping people do things right." Meadow wiped her eyes one final time. "Clover wants to thank you too, actually." Sterling smiled. "I'd like that very much indeed." The next Monday morning brought surprises still. Clover approached Sterling's desk with her mother. The little girl held a crayon drawing. It showed stick figures, a tall man, a woman, a small child between them. Above the figures, wobbly letters spelled words. "Thank you for kindness." Sterling accepted the drawing with unexpected emotion. He knelt down to Clover's eye level. "This is beautiful, Clover. Truly special indeed." The child smiled with missing front teeth. "Mama says you're a good man, mister." Sterling looked up at Meadow's grateful face, then back at the innocent child before him. The betrayal he'd experienced months ago felt distant. This moment felt infinitely more real and true. "Your mama is the good one, sweetheart," Sterling said softly but clearly. "She works hard so you can thrive. She loves you more than anything else. That's the real kindness in this story." As Meadow led Clover back to childcare, Sterling returned to his office. He taped the crayon drawing beside his diploma. The misspelled word made him smile each time. Kindness, missing an S, but containing everything important. Months passed. The child care program expanded with educational activities. Healthy meals for the children, too. Meadow received a promotion for her exceptional work. Other companies began copying Franklin's innovative new policy. That evening, Sterling looked around the transformed office. Employees laughed together near the water cooler now. Parents picked up their children from daycare happily. Meadow balanced to register with Clover coloring nearby. The company felt different now, warmer, more human. He thought about his former cashier again, the man who stole money for pure greed. Then he thought about Meadow's secret instead, skipping lunch to feed her child so quietly. Both had hidden something from him very deliberately, but their reasons couldn't be more different overall. One hid to take what wasn't rightfully his, the other hid to give everything she had away. Sterling realized then what true leadership truly required, not just vigilance against dishonesty and calculated theft, but compassion for honest people facing impossible challenges. The wisdom to know the difference mattered most. He drove home feeling lighter than ever before. The night air was cool and so pleasant. Stars began appearing in the darkening evening sky, and somewhere in the city, quite near him, Meadow was tucking Clover into bed very safely, reading her a story, kissing her forehead, grateful for a job that truly understood mothers. Sterling pulled into his driveway and paused again. He looked up at those same beautiful stars. He thought about trust and about terrible betrayal, about suspicion and compassion,
about the choices that truly define who we become. And he whispered into the quiet, peaceful night, "Sometimes the bravest thing isn't catching someone wrong, it's giving someone the chance to be right."